So, the real reason your team meetings achieve absolutely nothing. Most companies think their meetings problem is a scheduling problem, and they are completely wrong. It is a culture problem, it's a patterns problem, it's a wiring problem, and it's costing them far, far more than they ever really realize. So today, in this video, we're going to do that calculation that nobody wants to do. We're going to talk about how much meetings actually cost, what ineffective meetings are really telling you about your workplace, about your culture, and all of the things that go with it. So, fingers crossed, by the end of this video, you'll have a completely different way of thinking about meetings, and I'll even give you 3 things that you can do and change this week to make meetings way more effective at your workplace. Hi, if you are new here, I am Nick, I'm the Culture Doctor. I am on a journey to make work way more remarkable than it is today, and I share content on how to do that every single Sunday. So strap in, let's talk about these meetings. Let's go. Okay, let's go. So let's start with the live calculation. Average salary in the room times number of people times meeting length equals the bill of your meeting. Take an hour meeting with 10 mid-level managers. That costs roughly £1,200 in salary alone before we start talking about opportunity and productivity cost. So ask yourself the question, if someone invoiced you that amount, would you be happy to approve it? Microsoft have a work trend index. They release this most years. They found that meeting time has tripled since 2020, and most of it is considered low value. So why does this keep happening? Let's talk about the real reason meetings become and have become so ineffective. Number 1, meetings are seen as a status symbol. In hierarchical organizations, being in more meetings signals that you have more importance in your business. The problem we've got is leaders hold meetings to demonstrate their presence, not necessarily to drive really effective outcomes that are actually going to improve the way that we work. And when you do this, attendance becomes political. Being excluded is being perceived as being marginalized. So we want to show up. Number 2 is the wrong problem. Okay, so Stephen Rogelsberg's research, a great book called The Surprising Science of Meetings. In it, he says most meetings basically solve for coordination, not collaboration. We're solving for the very wrong thing by having meetings in the first place. Updates that could quite easily be an email become a meeting because leaders want a captive audience to be able to share the things that are in their head, and they're not using communication channels effectively enough. The meeting isn't the product. It's a clear symptom of unclear decision-making structures, people knowing what they can and can't do, right? Which brings me to reason 3, which is fear of asynchronous trust. Managers who don't trust their teams default to synchronous oversight, bringing people together. I must see you. And if you need to have a meeting to know what your team is doing, that's a trust problem, my friends. That is not a communication problem. MIT did some good research on meetings. They found that only 50% of meeting time is considered effective by the people going to those meetings. And yet people keep on accepting the invites. Have we stopped to ask ourselves, why are we doing that, right? In this next part, I want to talk about what bad meetings actually signal within your organization. A couple of things. Signal 1, too many meetings equals unclear ownership. So nobody knows who decides what. So what happens is everyone starts to convene to cover themselves. They just got to be there just in case they miss something, which is terrible for culture, right? Signal 2 is long meetings, especially update ones, signal low trust. When leaders don't trust their written communication or async updates or people sharing things in channels, they just pull people into a room. And signal number 3, reoccurring meetings nobody cancels, is basically comfort over courage. It takes confidence. It takes courage to say, do you know what? I don't actually think we need this meeting anymore. Meetings with no outcomes equals a performance theater. Okay, 3 things you can do to change your meeting habits this week. The first, introduce the meeting tax before any meeting gets booked. The organizer's got to state what decision will be made, what outcome will be achieved. And if the answer is, I don't know, it becomes an email, it becomes a comms exercise in channels instead. Number 2, You need to run a meeting audit. List every single reoccurring meeting in your team, cancel the ones that nobody cares about, that nobody would miss, until you actually objects to you canceling it, because that will tell you everything you need to know about that meeting in the first place and your culture. Final thing, separate information from collaboration. Updates and reports can go asynchronous. Meetings are reserved for genuine debate, creative problem solving, decisions that actually require you to stop, pause, think, reflect, and bring people together for moments that actually matter, right? Next time you're in a meeting that's going nowhere, ask yourself, is this a meeting problem or is it a mirror? My diagnosis here, ineffective meetings are not a calendar issue. They are a window into how your organization genuinely works and whether anyone trusts each other enough to change the way that you meet. Tell me what you think. Comment below. What's the most pointless reoccurring meeting you've seen? How are you changing meeting standards in your organization? Because I'm telling you now, I hear this everywhere that we have a time issue, a time poor. I can't do this. I have no time. Well, one of the ways you get some goddamn time back is by changing the thing that's sucking most of your time in the first place, these nonsense meetings. Bin them. Allow people to do the thing that they actually want to do, which is their craft and their work. Like, doesn't that sound mad? But giving people time back is probably the best gift we can give in 2026. So that's it for this week. Take control of your meetings, make your work more remarkable. It's actually pretty well correlated. Next time, I think we're going to have a look at some big organizations like Netflix, Google, etc., and debunk some of the myths that their cultures are awesome, because actually they might be challenged on a few things. If you liked what you saw, or if you liked what you heard today, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you next week. Go.